You know that feeling of comfort in your own home? That perfect, cool air on a hot day? Well, it turns out that's not just something that happens. It's actually a victory, one that's won every single day in a completely invisible war that's raging right outside your window and inside your walls. And we've all felt the pain of losing that war, right? It's always the first real scorcher of the summer. The temperature is climbing into the triple digits, and that is the exact moment your air conditioning decides to just give up. So, what is going on? Why does it always break down at the worst possible time?
Well, here's the thing. It's not just a coincidence, and it's definitely not just bad luck. It's actually the final moment of a long, drawn-out battle. Your home's HVAC system is under a constant, calculated assault from the environment itself. Okay, so let's get into this. To really understand what's happening, we have to know who we're up against. And the number one enemy in this story? It's the very climate you live in.
I want you to think of your HVAC system not just as an appliance, but as a soldier. It is stationed on the front lines 24/7, defending your comfort against a relentless attack. And believe me, some battlefields are way harsher than others. So, to see how this all plays out, let's go to a specific battlefield. We're going to zoom in on Irving, Texas. It's a perfect case study where the environmental forces are incredibly aggressive. But trust me, the lessons we learn here, they apply almost everywhere. And when I say assault, I'm not kidding. Look at these numbers. In a place like Irving, summer temps can easily hit 102 degrees. But inside your attic, it becomes a brutal oven at 150 degrees. This forces the AC to run for up to 12 hours a day. That is just extreme, non-stop stress. And this isn't just one attack. It's coming from all sides. That extreme heat is targeting key electrical parts. Then you've got this unique expanding clay soil in the ground that literally squeezes and bends refrigerant lines until they crack. Even things you wouldn't think of, like vibrations from traffic, can slowly wiggle electrical connections loose. It's a totally coordinated assault. So when your system is under an attack this intense, what happens? Well, all that pressure leads to 4 very common system failures. These are the casualties of war that you, the homeowner, end up seeing firsthand. First up, we have capacitor failure. You can think of the capacitor as the spark plug for your system's motors. It gives that big jolt of electricity to get them going. But that constant, intense heat just cooks this component until it can't deliver that jolt anymore. And you know this one is happening when you hear that low hum coming from the outdoor unit. It wants to start, it's getting power, but without that capacitor, the motor just can't turn over. It's the classic sound of a fallen soldier. Next up is a real sneak attack from below. Refrigerant leaks. As that clay soil under your house gets wet and then dries out, it expands and contracts, shifting your whole foundation. That puts a ton of stress on the copper refrigerant lines, creating these tiny, hard-to-find leaks. Now, the telltale sign for this one is pretty weird. You'll actually see ice forming on your indoor coils, even on the hottest day of the year. Why? Because when the refrigerant gets low, the pressure drops, which makes the coils get super cold, freezing any moisture in the air right onto them. The third common casualty comes from an attack from the air itself. Your outdoor unit has all these little metal fins designed to get rid of heat, but they get clogged with cottonwood seeds, dust, grass, you name it. It's like the system is being choked, and it can't exhale all that heat it's pulled from your house. And finally, you've got sabotage from within your own house. That insane 150-degree attic heat literally bakes the seals and tape holding your ducts together until they fail. The ducts pop open, and now you're paying good money to pump all that wonderful cold air right into your scorching hot attic instead of your living room. Okay, so this sounds pretty grim. Your home is basically under siege. But look, this is not a hopeless situation. You can absolutely fight back. So let's pivot from understanding the attack to building your home's defense plan. And the most important thing here is a change in your mindset. You've got to stop waiting for something to break. You need to launch a preemptive strike. Proactive maintenance is, without a doubt, your number one weapon in this war for comfort. So here it is. This is your battle plan. A seasonal tune-up directly counters the main attacks we just talked about. Cleaning those coils, that's like clearing the battlefield of debris. Checking refrigerant levels, that's making sure your supply lines are intact. Testing capacitors, that's inspecting your weapons before the fight. It's a strategic checklist for victory. But, sometimes a system is just too old or battle-worn. And at some point, every homeowner faces a really big strategic decision. Do you keep patching up your aging veteran system, or is it time to recruit a new one? To help you make that call, a lot of pros use a simple little guideline. It's called the $5,000 rule. Now, it's not a hard and fast law, but it's a great back-of-the-napkin calculation to see if you're about to throw good money after bad. And the formula couldn't be simpler. You just take the age of your system in years, and you multiply it by the cost of the repair you're looking at. So, for example, let's say your system is 12 years old and it needs a $500 repair. You multiply 12 by 500, which gives you $6,000. Since that number is more than $5,000, the rule suggests that it's probably time to start thinking seriously about replacing it. And at the end of the day, this choice is all about strategic trade-offs. Repairing costs less right now, but you're running the risk of more breakdowns and you're stuck with lower efficiency. Replacing is a bigger investment upfront, but you're buying yourself long-term peace of mind and usually lower energy bills. For any system that's over 15 years old and facing a big repair bill, the smart money usually shifts heavily toward replacement. So the next time you walk into your home and you feel that cool air, just take a second to remember the unseen war that's being fought for you. The environment is never going to stop its attack. The only real question is your defense ready?